Well, I was born in the Lake District, near a place called Grange-over-Sands. The actual place was called Glendale. And my parents were working in Grange-over-Sands for a couple of ladies who had a farm. My mother was expected to help in the house and my father was expected to do the farm work. I don't think we stayed there very long. Then we moved back down to Preston in Lancashire. That was a townhouse that we lived in, and I can remember being taken for a walk and looking down from a height down at some pigs in the back of somebody's garden. My only memory of the war, it may have been 1939, in which case I was 3, and I was out with my father, and the sirens went off and my father grabbed me. I remember him grabbing me and racing along with me, and we down into an air raid shelter. I don't remember what happened after that, not at all. When we got down into Gloucestershire and Newent, where the small holding was, of course I had to go to the local school. I had a double squint, which meant that a lot of people thought that I was daft. I got teased a lot, not just by children, and tormented. And in school, I was at the back of the class. But one day, it was my lucky day, I suppose. Well, I don't suppose, I know it was my lucky day. The NHS were sending doctors round the schools to look at children. And they, of course, noted my very bad eyesight. My parents were sent for and they were offered the opportunity for me to have an operation on my eyes. And I spent Christmas in hospital that year. I was told, my parents taught me how to cope when I couldn't see, because I was told I wouldn't be able to see anything for some time. And then eventually the bandages were taken off and I could see. And my mother came and took me home. And I remember as we walked through the streets to the bus, noticing the clouds weren't flat on the sky. I could see 3D for the first time ever. And when I got home, my little brother ran out saying, "Oh, June's got a new face." Well, I went back to school after the Christmas holidays. I was still going to sleep on the desk, but we were actually reading Charles Dickens at the age of 10 and 11, which wouldn't happen now. David Copperfield we were reading, and I was there at the back of the class as usual because I was backward, so they thought. But then it was my turn to stand up and read. And I didn't just read David Copperfield. I tried to put in accents and I tried to explain all the long words, so all the children were falling about laughing and thought it very funny. But the teacher at the front of the class said to the headmaster, who had himself teased me and called me backward, "She isn't backward. She can read and understand and explain what she's reading." So I was crammed and I took the 11+ that spring and passed, and that sent me off to grammar school, which was the making of everything for me.